you know, sometimes you get all your money out of something, and you see that right there. Let's see if I can get close enough. That line right there is where the belt is actually split. And so I think I got all my money out of this one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today what I'm going to do is, well, the Mercedes has had a little bit of a chirp and whatnot too, and I thought, you know, it's probably time to replace the belt and stuff. And I've never replaced the belt on the car. When I got the car, it had about 72,000 miles on it. Now it's got close to 110,000 miles on it. As far as I know, that may be the original belt, but I can't say for certain. Before that, a family member had the car for a while, and then but the history before that is totally unknown to us. And so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think that that is the original belt that was on it. And so 110,000 miles is, yeah, it's more than enough, especially considering that that one is split. So let's go ahead and dive into this. I'm going to rip the belt off of it. I went ahead and I did order, let me show you those real quick. This is a new belt tensioner, and that is for this. And then I have a new idler pulley for this, of course, and then got a new belt. Now I ordered all this stuff from FCP Euro. Order from them because when it comes to stuff like this, Jaguar, Mercedes, Porsche, Audi, any European car brand, they have parts for, and they're really reasonable, and they have a cool thing that's it's pretty much a lifetime guarantee on all the parts. And so if something happens to it, it goes bad later, technically I could pull it off, call them, order another one, they'd come in, put it on, and send the old one back, and then they would credit my account back for that part. So if you have a European car, consider checking them out. A lot of other people swear by them, so do I. They've been fantastic to me so far. Not sponsored, not in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this. I'm going to go ahead and pull the belt off, the old belt, and then once I get that old belt off, then we'll figure out how to get the replace the idler pulley and the belt tensioner. If I can tuck down in there to show it, I will, and I think I can, but we'll find out here in a few minutes. Okay, so I've got a 17 millimeter socket. It goes on the tensioner. Let me grab that, kind of explain what I'm doing here because you really almost can't see it. This is the orientation, kind of how the tensioner will sit on the, it'll sit on the front of the engine. The engine will be back here. There's this 17 millimeter nut right here. You put this on there, turn it, and then you see this little pin that's right here. That came with this new one, but I am going to put an Allen wrench in that hole once I turn it, and that'll hold the tensioner back. And so then I pull the belt off, do all that happy stuff there. Once that comes off, I'll pull the old tensioner off, bolt the new one on, and then put the new idler pulley on and put the new belt on, and hopefully that'll be it. Should be done pretty easy. Now let me get back to the job at hand. All right, so there's no guarantees that you're going to be able to see any of this, but I'm trying real hard to get a good angle on it. The bolt that I need to touch or to get onto is that deal is on the back side of the tensioner. This is the tensioner here. This is the belt, and it's down underneath there. And then on the back side back here is where this Allen wrench needs to go into. So this is already proving to be one of those things where access is not really the greatest, which is typical because I probably could do a lot more if I pulled a lot more stuff off. Anyway, okay, got that on there. And then there's a little, like a half moon horseshoe kind of a thing that this Allen key needs to get into underneath there. And so I'm probably going to get the ratchet in the way when I do this part of it, which, I mean, that's kind of how these things go. Got that off of there. Let's see here. And nope, that's not it. I can't get my hand in there to really feel the whole thing now, so. Yeah, my offset ratchet is probably not the best tool for the job, so we're going to change that up. Okay, so I'm back with the 17 and a short extension. Now let me see if this is going to give me the room that I need. And I got the wobbly head. That's probably not the best one for the job either. Hey, that's on there. That's probably going to be better. I can get to that from up here. And I can actually kind of hold it in place. Now with this hand, I can reach down in here and find out where that little detent is. Is that it? No, that can't possibly be it. There it is. I can feel it now. Okay. This is as far up as that'll go. Hey. All right, let some tension off. And it's in place. That didn't suck as bad as I thought it could. All right, let me get some stuff moved around and out of the way, and then we're going to pull the belt off. Okay, now that I got the belt out, I'll be able to show you just how much of my money's worth I got out of it. I mean, this thing is whew, really kind of probably got super lucky on that this didn't happen out somewhere on the highway, or worse yet, when my wife is driving around through West Texas like she has been in the recent past and have this thing go south, because that would have been a bad experience. Check your belts. I had checked it. I thought it was fine. Clearly I grabbed on a side of it that wasn't bad, but yeah, let's don't do that. Anyway, let me go ahead and figure out how to pull these pulleys off, swap them out, and then get this thing put back on. Alright, I got the microphone down here. This idler pulley that's the top side of it, this is talked about. There was some chirping noise. Yep, that was a noise. Alright, to get this cover off, it's a plastic cover. You reach under here with a screwdriver. If the cover breaks, I'm not worried about it. The kit did come with a new one. And so there's the Torx head. I'm not sure what size that one is, so looks like, I don't know. I'll figure it out here in a second. Grab it. You can see there's a bunch of junk in here, so that bearing has failed. And that noise that I was hearing, that's what the cause of that noise is. So wonderful that is. But easy enough. We're going to go ahead and swap it out. Okay, I went ahead and cracked it loose already, but it's got a T50. That's what that bolt is that's in it. Or at least that's the one that I'm using. Come on. I'm not sure if this has any, wow. That thing's got some length to it. Let's hope we're not up against the, nope. Almost up against the radiator it seemed like, but nope. And man, oh man. You can see on there, it looks like there was a little bit of some type of a Loctite on there, so I'll probably put just a smidge on there. Alright, so the, let me put this on here. It's ambidextrous, so I don't think it makes it, so well, it doesn't make a difference which one goes to which one. The biggie is getting this bolt in there so that it will actually fit back in the hole that it's supposed to go in. But it went in easier than it came out, that's for dang sure. They say 25 newton meters is what the torque to this is, which is about 18.5 foot-pounds. I don't have a torque wrench that goes down that low, so I'm gonna do a guesstimate. But 18 foot-pounds is not a bunch, so definitely go easy on it. And I put a tiny dot of red Loctite on there, so hopefully I don't regret that later, but anyway. Now I've got a long ratchet, so don't go too crazy with a long ratchet. I'm going to call that good. It's tight on there and it doesn't make any noise. Alright, now for the fun part. We get to get down there in the bottom and unbolt that tensioner. And should be a good time. Whatever. Anyway. Sorry, almost forgot a piece. I'm going to put this plastic cover on there. There we go. Alright, cover is on. Alright, the next one, I've got two bolts that I got to get to, and one of them is right there. There's one of them on the other side, and those bolts are a T45. Let me readjust my light so I can actually kind of see, somewhat, sort of, which totally blocks your vision. Those were not that tight, so that's a bonus. You know what? I'll be right back. I'm going to cheat a little bit. Move the light a little bit, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. Now, I am going with my Milwaukee ratchet. Well, I thought I was. That's not going to get it. Nope. Man, you buy cool tools and then can't use them. Okay, let me see if I can knock this other one loose. I need a little bit more light so I can actually see what I'm doing, or not. Well, that's completely useless. That might be. Of course, the magnet on my work light is now the problem, so let me remove that. That might be a little bit better. Oh, sounds like that one might have been making noise too. Alright, I got my hands back in here and I am almost got this thing out. This is just tight spaces, and that's how it goes. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. Well, that's just peachy, because that bolt just fell to a spot that's not easy to get to. Wonderful. So now here we're gonna try to fish this whole thing out. Let's hope there's a ow. a hole big enough to get it out of without tearing something up. Nope, it ain't gonna come out of there. And then we gotta remember where it came out of so that we can put one back in it, or put it back in that same direction. It's gotta come out of here, right? Doesn't it? If I could get my light out of my face, I'd be even much more peachy. And it won't go out the bottom. Okay, this is not a good idea, so let's not do that. Yeah, I got the bright idea that I was going to pull this Allen wrench out. It's not going to come out of there. The upside, and the reason that I put it on the lift, is so that if I have to, I can lift the car up to get underneath, which I was hoping to not have to do that. So there has to be a way for this to come out, right? I mean, don't they do that? I don't want to mess with that one too much. Definitely don't move that thing around. So, come on, patience. Isn't patience supposed to be like virtuous or something like that? It's the theory. That's what we keep getting told. Well, I'm not going to sit here and let you guys watch me fight this thing for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to figure out how to get this thing out of here, and then I'll be back. All right, so little update. I wound up taking this pulley back off because I thought I could get that tensioner out through that hole, but it's just not big enough. That this space just didn't quite work out, and so apparently, get over here a little more comfortable. The cheat code for this is pulling this clip here that sits on top of there. This hose sits in there, and so I pulled that out and was able to push the hose in enough to just squeeze the old one out, and so I should be able to squeeze the new one in. But that leads us to a new problem, which is I don't have any blue Loctite, so I got to run downtown and pick up some blue Loctite. And for me, just running down to, well, if I go to the Napa, it's 5 miles into town and then 5 miles back. And so just a little bit of an update for that. So anyway, I know I'm whining, but it is what it is. All right, see y'all back here in a little bit. All right, so you see the belt is on, everything else. That was not at all a joy. But getting that belt tensioner back in there was fun. But what I had to do, I pulled the old one out. I pulled this clip right here off to get it out of the way, and I kind of pinched the hose over. Now let me put it where you can see it. I pinched the hose over, kind of wiggled the old one out, did the same thing in reverse for the other one, wiggled it back in. Had to run down, get the blue Loctite because I didn't have any. Why, I don't know. I know I've got some in here somewhere, but I just couldn't find it. And so paid a small fortune for blue Loctite, that whatever bottle, liquid gold stuff, man. I tell you what, 35 bucks for a bottle of Loctite. It's kind of crazy. But economy's great, right? Don't worry about it. Anyway, so yeah, belt's on, new pulley, new tensioner's on down there. Just got to finish putting things back together, and that'll be about it. Honestly, once I found the cheat code to be able to squeeze that in through there, it would have gone a lot faster if I'd have known that to begin with. It was just a matter of finding it. And then I got a little bit pissed off, and so my wife came down to the shop and said, come on, let's go have some lunch. So I went up to the house, had some lunch, sat back, and relaxed for a few minutes, kind of collected my thoughts, came back down, and that's when I kind of was like, all right, there's got to be a way to do this without pulling all this crap off. So anyway, started pulling the front fascia off. There's a lot more to it. I'm going to have to pull the front bumper off and fix it anyway. Just not ready to do that yet. I've got a couple other things that I want to take care of before I do that. So anyway, that part of it's there. Let me go ahead and button this back up. I'll be right back, go over the final end of the project, talk about money and all that good stuff, and be right back. All right, so this project is done. It was, once I found the cheat code, a lot easier. And so remember that if you're ever working on one of these. I know this is helpful for like 5 people, but it's really similar for any of the V8 Mercedes. This car, it just happens to have a whole lot of crap packed into a really tiny space with this big V8 in there and whatnot. But hey, it is what it is. It's fun to drive, right? So anyway, that part is done. Let me see. I think I touched on everything that I wanted to touch on. With that, I'll just say thanks for being here. Thanks for watching Yellow Jacket Garage. I appreciate it. Appreciate each and every one of you that are here. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on down the road.